Welcome back. ODHtv, Raising Kanan Season 4, Episode 5. Just got finished watching this episode. Man, that was a sad one. It was a good one. But damn, man. So my last couple of videos that I did predictions for, those things pretty much came true. I will say this though. If you have inside information or you've seen the episode, it's kind of corny to pass it off as prediction or theory. Be honest with yourself. And that's all I'm going to say. Listen, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's talk about this episode. So the episode starts with Young Famous and his family getting the snot beat out of them by his father. Not going to dwell on this scene for too long because I don't like this type of thing. Jess tells Young Famous to hide in the room and stay there until she tells him to come out. Later that night, they try to escape. Famous has to run back in and go get his He-Man doll. The father catches him. The mother runs up behind him, stabs him in the ribs. They run off and they're in the shelter. Of course, that was a flashback. Mrs. Figueroa is actually at the police station talking to Detective Garcia. And he's telling Famous's mom that he's not a missing person, he's a fugitive. She says he wouldn't run. He was telling them things that they wanted to know. So we find out that Famous was talking. But Garcia is stuck on Kanan and tells her if she wants to know where Famous is, ask him. He should know.
None of the spots got product. Barrels showed up empty.
Terry has decided on his own to stop moving Rock's product to the Chinese restaurants. And he's not taking their calls. Rock also tells Marvin that the police came by and let her know that Andre is dead.
He can't afford to get hit again.
So Kanan is with that 38-year-old looking teenager, OC, asking him if anybody out there have seen anything or heard anything. OC tells him no, and then starts asking a lot of questions about why Kanan is taking a lot of money out of the business.
You right. It ain't got shit to do with you, OC.
And this is because, like I said in my other video, OC's working with Unique.
You keep doing what the fuck I tell you to do, you'll be alright.
Can't wait for this guy to be out of the picture.
I think it was a home invasion.
Mara and Jukebox are at a diner, and Mara's telling her that the police say it's a home invasion without doing any investigation whatsoever. She's like, what? I'm about to get away with this? To have a wild crime scene like that with blood all over the place and no investigation is a little far-fetched, but we gotta close that part of the story to move Jukebox's story along. Yo, look at her. She look like she's about 50 years old. That's a little old for Jukebox.
They're good, right?
They okay.
Meanwhile, Lou and Amani are scouting talent together. And Unique leaves another envelope full of money for Panessa.
How you taking this off fast, so what we doing?
Jukebox is helping Marvin with the stab wound he got from Aaron, Mara's husband. He also wants to know how Jukebox is coping with having to shoot him.
We still ain't talked about what happened.
What happened?
That's crazy. She's completely unfazed. She goes on to tell Marvin that the police believe it's a robbery and that her friend is happy that he's dead. And she's comfortable with it because as far as she's concerned, they did a good thing. Meanwhile, Lou and Amani are still scouting talent. They're becoming more friendly with each other. And Kanan is taking snaps and Pop's advice and keeping the money reserve locked up in storage.
Where your brother at, David?
I don't know where Terry is.
Rock and Marvin go to see Terry's brother David, the crackhead, to find out why their dope is just sitting on the dock and not being moved to the Chinese restaurants.
I apologize.
You smoke crack, don't you? It kills your brain cells, son.
Rock tells him that she's willing to accept that they didn't understand who they were in business with, but now he knows, so find your brother. So as they're leaving, Rock tells Marvin to go speak to Terry, and to press him hard but not too hard because they don't have anybody else that can move the weight like they do. Jukebox and Kanan are at Famous's house talking to his mother. She decides to take Detective Garcia's advice and ask Kanan if he knows where Famous is, but neither he or Jukebox have any idea where he is. Kanan gets a call about his grandmother and they have to leave. Then Mrs. Figueroa has another flashback about Young Famous where he found a stray dog and brought it home and she let him keep it. I think they did Antonio Ortez dirty. They actually hired a kid when they could have just had him in this episode and had flashbacks of him, at the age that he was in. Completely unnecessary scenes. Not even good flashbacks that are pertinent to the story. Either way, Unique is now in New Jersey meeting with Phil Russo, the new New Jersey crime boss. He's not receptive at all to Unique and not ready to go up against Stefano. He tells Unique, if you get a crew, maybe we can talk. Otherwise, get out of here.
But you get the fuck out of here.
That didn't go well at all. Kanan and Jukebox get to Grandma's house and see that she's fallen. Jukebox calls an ambulance and they take her to the hospital. Meanwhile, back at the label, Imani tells Lou she wants her back blown out. So he does.
Your last payment to me was at the old price.
Quan wants to know why Rock is still paying the old prices when he gave her a 20% increase. Also telling her that he misses Unique because he was a man of his word. She's not trying to hear that, and she tells him, "You're not a man of your word because we agreed on a price and now you raised it." He then goes on to tell Rock that he also met with Kanan.
I'll be better at being a mother than you are at business. I'll let Stefano know that I'll no longer be supplying your operation.
Their business is concluded and he may have just sealed his fate. At the hospital, we learn that Joyce's fall didn't hurt her at all, but the cancer is much more aggressive. Rock goes back to see the Afghans about a supply.
I told you I would reach out to you when I was ready to continue our conversation.
He tells her that before they agree to anything, he needs to meet with her partners, meaning Stefano. Back at the hospital, we have a scene with Marvin and Joyce. I've been waiting for them two to have a scene together, but this did not go the way I thought it was gonna go. She begins to tell him he's stronger than he thinks he is and don't let Rock make him feel soft. Straight manipulating this guy, because then soon after, she asks him to help her die. Next we have OC walking down the block, and who pulls up? None other than Unique. OC gets in the car and Unique starts asking him questions about the money and where's it at. OC tells him that Kanan is taking some off the top and getting it out of the building. This was a pretty obvious one. I made a whole video on how OC was working with Unique.
And I get the fuck on my car. Now, nigga!
Rock pulls up to her house and Panessa's waiting outside with an envelope full of money. Wants to know why Rock is putting money in her mailbox. Rock has no idea what she's talking about. Marvin goes to see Terry about the product not moving off the loading dock. Terry is not intimidated at all and threatens to go to the police.
If you don't leave me alone, I will tell them everything.
Marvin tells him that's not something you want to say to me.
I'm scared of you.
And that's that. Don't really know if Marvin had a choice on that one. This scene almost got me. I thought this big head kid was Ghost. But this kid goes in a convenience store and steals what looks like a 40 ounce. The owner sees him, and when the kid breaks out, he chases him all the way down the block and into an alley and into an abandoned building where they find Famous and his decomposing hand under a mattress. Yo, they did Antonio Ortez dirty. Dude was a major character. Like, what did he do wrong that they couldn't bring him back to die? I mean, really, check this out. Mrs. Figueroa goes down to the morgue to go identify the body. They don't even show it. This scene is crazy. So, back at the hospital, Joyce told Marvin that she wanted his help to help her die, and that she had a nurse that had the extra morphine that could help him do it. And this is what's supposed to be happening now. But as this scene starts, that Boadicea song by Enya that Lauryn Hill used as a sample for Ready or Not, which is kind of like a double meaning, but I remember looking up this song to find out what this song meant. But it was about some queen who led some type of rebellion, and she was defeated, and then she poisoned herself. Or something close to that, but I remember she poisoned herself. Which is interesting because Marvin was really considering doing this for her, but then he just couldn't do it. But then she wakes up realizing that her manipulation at the hospital didn't work on Marvin, and this just became like a horror flick. He says, "I can't, I'm sorry." And then the real Joyce comes out.
Get out of my sight. I can't bear to look at you. Marvin's sorry.
And she just kept repeating that over and over. That was creepy. I suggest you watch this scene. If you haven't watched it, watch this scene.
Marvin's sorry. Marvin's sorry. Marvin's sorry.
That was sad and creepy at the same time, but we're going to come back to this scene in another video. I'm going to explain why I believe that she was asking Marvin to do it and no one else. Quan comes out of the back of his club after it closes, and Unique is waiting for him. He wants to have a little talk.
Thought you were dead.
Famous's mom is on the bus on her way home, and she has another flashback. And this is what's really disrespectful, because this flashback is a present-day flashback. And they just use old footage from season 3. They couldn't even let this dude come back and do one scene just to die? Who did he piss off? This last scene of younger Kanan finding out that Famous has passed away is being narrated by older Kanan. It was a sad scene, but it did make me chuckle when 50 Cent said this.
And how
I'm sad,
long
nigga.
it's gonna last.
And that's that. Let me know what you think about this episode. I thought it was a pretty good episode, but I just think they did Antonio Ortiz wrong. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think that? You think I'm overreacting? Does anybody out there know what he did wrong? Let me know in the comments. I'll be back in the next one.
Get her. Player to player, I mean. Games that you playing, I seen. The chance that I'm taking, I mean. These things that I'm saying, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't even know what I really need.